You're expected to know very few veins. In general, the major veins ride alongside the major arteries and have the same name, except that they're called veins instead of arteries. So there are a few instances where there are some special veins that are different from the arteries, or at least have been given different names. So the jugular vein, for instance, is one. And you can see here, you've got the vein that's coming from under the collarbone. So what would you expect it to be called? Subclavian vein. And you see this lighter spot here between the point where the jugular and the subclavian meet, right there, that little white spot, that's where the thoracic duct empties its lymph back into the circulatory system. So the lymph enters here at the junction of these two vessels, and then they come together to form a vessel that empties into the superior vena cava on both sides. They're the brachiocephalic veins. So remember, there's only one brachiocephalic artery, but there's a right and a left brachiocephalic vein. So you see how the lymph gets dumped back into the circulatory system just before the lymph mixed with the blood would fall into the heart through the superior vena cava. So that's relatively easy. So if I put a little piece of tape here pointing at that spot, and I ask you identify, so you'd say point at which thoracic duct empties lymph back into the circulatory system. And if I ask you to identify these vessels, that wouldn't be unjust, right? Jugular, subclavian, brachiocephalic, subvc.